how to overcome adversity as you're working towards your goals and your dreams. Now, for those of us that are new, again, my name is David Gibson. I'm also known as D1 Gibson here in the virtual space. I appreciate each and every single one of you all investing time this morning to tap into today's conversation. Now, again, grow your mindset. To begin the conversation, let's comment below that statement. Grow your mindset. Grow your mindset. Today, I want to personally speak to those individuals that are working towards something that they value, that vision, that purpose, that goal that you have established, right? We're in the middle of 2023. We're 7 months in. Many people have given up on their goals and their dreams because of adversity, because of a few setbacks, because of things not necessarily working out the way that they initially planned them to. But I want to talk to those success warriors, those overcomers, those more than conquerors, those individuals that are determined to create their own reality, or in some cases, reinvent their life experience in a positive way. Let's keep in mind that the challenges are a part of the process. In fact, comment below that statement. The challenges are a part of the process. Adversity is something that each and every single one of us experiences. None of us are exempt from it. But what matters the most is not what happens, but what we do with what happens. What's that quote say? Life is 90% what you do, what happens, and then 10% of what actually happens in the world around us. We're all focused in many cases on what's happening. We should direct our focus on how we're going to respond. And today, again, we're going to talk about how we can overcome those adverse conditions, those difficult moments, those challenging experiences that are part of the process of us achieving any goal that is worthwhile. Real quick story to give us context during today's conversation. Prior to 1954, it was largely assumed by individuals in the world in which we live that no man can ever run a mile under 4 minutes. Nobody. Like, they assumed that the heart wouldn't be able to handle that type of energy and that type of stress. And they felt as if the heart was going to explode internally. Nobody can run and sustain that speed for that amount of time and running that fast. Until an individual by the name of Roger Bannister. Now, we've talked about this story on many broadcasts, but I want to take this story a different direction as it relates to today's conversation. But to give us context, Roger Bannister was a 25-year-old medical student at Oxford University. Now, mind you, a few years prior to him breaking this record, he ran the Olympics in 1952 and came up short. Came up in 4th place. Now think about that. He described how this experience was extremely disheartening. Like, he invested his time, his energy, his all towards a particular goal, gave it everything that he had, and still fell short. And I'm quite sure many of us can relate to that, right? You worked towards something, you spent a lot of time, you invested a lot of energy, you put yourself out there, and you still fell short, right? Like those moments where it's a gut check, like the wind gets knocked out of you, you're extremely frustrated, you're disappointed, you're discouraged, and Roger even mentioned he felt like giving up. Comment below, family. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. He felt like giving up on something that he was passionate about. He felt like giving up on something that he aimed to accomplish. Because what often happens is adversity will hit us in a way where we forget why we do what we do. And because of the process of getting to where we aim to be, it becomes overwhelming and challenging and forces us in a position where we feel like quitting. But it's those individuals that reinvent possibilities, these individuals that redefine what they're capable of. These are they that do not quit when the times become hard. So fast forward to 1954, right? He didn't win the Olympics, but essentially what he did was he created a new goal for himself. And he said, I want to be the first man to ever run the mile below 4 minutes. I want to be the first individual that conquers this thing that many people have classified to be impossible. Like the status quo on the possibility of a man actually achieving this feat was that it was impossible. And Roger understood that impossible is nothing, but drive is everything. He was driven to accomplish this specific goal. So he ran it. And a few times he fell short, but he kept the vision in mind. And then eventually he ran this race, family. And I believe his time was 3 minutes and 59 seconds. He accomplished it. He collapsed at the finish line. The cameras were there. Everybody was there. The sports analysts, they came and they began to report on this new record that had been broken, this new accomplishment that had been achieved. The cameras are in his face after he lifts himself up and hydrates. They have the microphone that's right there tapped into his mouth, and they're asking him questions. And the reporter said, "Roger, how were you able to accomplish this? How were you able to do this?" And in his response, family, is really where I want to take the direction of today's conversation, because it's so inspiring in what he said. After he accomplished something that was once classified, after he defied the odds, after he overcame this adversity and the challenges that came with him accomplishing something that seemed impossible, his response was, "It's the man that's willing to push himself. When the effort becomes painful, that's the one that's going to win." Let me say that again in case we missed that, family. Okay, everybody watching this live, all those catching this on the replay, pay close attention to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Roger said it's the one that's willing to push themselves. When the effort becomes painful, that's the one that's going to succeed. It's the one that's willing to push themselves. When the effort becomes time consuming, that's the one that's going to become successful. It's the one that's willing to push themselves when it seems complex and often overwhelming. That's the one that's going to accomplish their goal. D1, what are you saying? Here's what I'm saying, family. In order for us to accomplish anything that's worthwhile, in order for us to truly reinvent our life experience, especially if you're working towards a goal that often seems impossible, you got to break the habit of quitting. Comment below, break the habit. Break the habit. Because for many of us, what's holding us back is not a lack of ability. It's not our lack of competence. It's not our lack of skills. In some cases, it's not a lack of experience. But in many ways, it's a lack of will. For many of us, we have developed this habit of starting something and stopping something, right? The moment when it becomes difficult, we're easy to quit. The moment when it becomes challenging, we throw in the towel. The moment when we get face to face with some form of resistance, we go back to the life that we used to live, right? And we assume that we can't achieve certain things, and we can't gain access to a certain accomplishment, because we get hit by life, right? The moment we get rejected, or somebody tells us no, or somebody doubts what we have to offer, when somebody says we're not good enough, we buy into someone else's opinion and we stop the very thing that we truly desire. But what Roger was highlighting in his statement was, if you keep pushing yourself, right? Like if you keep grinding, if you keep hustling, if you keep working to figure things out, eventually you will accomplish what it is that you're aiming to experience. The one that's willing to push themselves further when the effort becomes painful, that's the one that's going to win. D1, what are you saying? Here's what I'm saying out the gate as we step into this week, family. Here's the declaration that we have to make. And we don't want to just speak this with our words. We want to live it with our actions. I challenge us to affirm and declare that it's not over until I succeed. My goal, my dream, it's not over until I win. And a part of you making that declaration means you're willing to accept the challenges that you must face to get to where you aim to be. Let's keep it real. On the other side of adversity is often success. And many people never reach the success because they're not willing to navigate the adversity. But we have to step into every single opportunity, every vision, every goal with the mindset that it's not over until I succeed. It's not over until I win. Until I create the result that I envision, I'm still going to keep pushing, keep pressing. I'm going to figure this thing out and move my life forward. I challenge each and every single one of us to break the habit of quitting. I challenge us, right? You created the podcast, you put it out there, and it seemed as if nobody was listening or tuning in, so you quit. Or in some cases, you bought the equipment, like you have all the resources needed. But because you keep living in your head, right, and overthinking how things should be, you never execute on the goal or the dream. You're in a position right now where you want to do something different, but you keep talking yourself out of it because of all the challenges that you foresee as you take this quest, as you pursue this goal. And because you're living in your head and not living with your heart, you're missing out on opportunities. I declare, and listen, I'm challenging us, man, affirm right now. It's not over until I succeed. It's not over until I win. Operate with that type of mindset, right? Now, keep in mind, family, as we operate with that state of mind, the method may change, but the mission is still the same, right? Let me break that down for us. Okay, D1, what are you saying? The method may change, but the mission is still the same. Keep the mission top of mind, where you aim to be, what you're aiming to experience, the life that you're looking to create. The method may change. You may have to adjust what you're doing. You may have to reinvent your process. You may have to pivot, right? You may have to shift some things around. You may have to adapt. You may have to grow from some experiences, and that requires you making some mistakes. But through it all, you got to keep the mission the same. The mission is to become the best version of yourself. The mission is to make an impact in your community. The mission is to transform your life. The mission is to do something positive in the world in which we live. The methods of getting there may change, but don't lose sight of the mission. Keep that top of mind. Don't allow the process of getting to where you aim to be to blind you of the vision that you're aiming to experience. Keep the mission top of mind. When you step into every single day this week, remind yourself of that experience that you're aiming to have. Immerse yourself in that moment. Fall in love with the results. And a part of falling in love with the results means I got to be willing to embrace the process. And what's going to help me embrace this process is operating with the mindset, it ain't over until I succeed, until I win. We've said a lot during this broadcast. And I'll conclude it by saying this. To that one that's building that idea, to that one that's aiming to climb the corporate ladder, to that one that's looking to scale their business, to that aspiring entrepreneur, to that one that wants to make a difference in their community, to that author that hasn't written a book, to that person that has a beautiful voice and can change the minds of individuals with your influence and do a positive thing in your community that has yet to open up their mouth. I challenge you today to make up your mind. It ain't over until I win. Because remember, like Roger Bannister reminded us, it's the one that's willing to push themselves further when the effort becomes painful. That's the one that's going to win. I understand it's painful. I understand it's complicated. I understand it's challenging. I understand it's difficult. I understand there's moments when there's tears rolling down your face. I understand when you're confused. I understand it seems overwhelming. I understand it feels like you're losing and you're not getting ahead at times. But it's the one that's willing to push themselves further when you're tired, when you're exhausted, when you're frustrated, when you're hurt, when it's intimidating, when you're afraid. If you keep pushing yourself further, that's the one that's going to win. This week, every single day, I challenge you to be that person. You be that person that rises above your excuses and commits to excellence. You be that person that rises above your insecurities and you tap into that confidence. You be that person that rises above fear and you connect with courage and you live the life that you envision. You build it brick by brick with determination, with intentionality, with a focus. It's going to reinvent your life experience. You are at your best when you're focused, committed, and willing to go the extra mile to live the life that you aim to experience. If you slid into this broadcast and I was unable to give you a shout out, be sure to comment below. And if in fact this is your first time, or maybe your first time in a long time, put a number 1 in the comment section and then place your first name afterward. Again, number 1 in the comment section and then place your first name afterward. Yusuf, you're speaking to my soul this morning. Let's talk that talk, King. All I'm doing is speaking truth to power. It's up to us to leverage that power and make it a powerful day. I got notifications popping up all on this laptop. Y'all bear with me. There we go. But for those of us that are catching this live, and maybe those catching this on the replay, if you found value in this broadcast, let me see those fists in the comment section. Put those fists up. Let me know that you were picking up what I was putting down. Yeah, break the habit of quitting. Got to break the habit, Henry. It's a habit, right? Once you start adopting that habit, you quit when things are hard, you start carrying that over into every aspect of your life. Now, don't get me wrong, right? When I say we don't quit, I'm talking about we don't quit on the things that we value. I'm a firm believer, right? There's some things that we do need to quit. We need to quit the self-sabotage. We need to quit the destructive behavior. We need to quit surrounding ourselves with people that drain our energy, with individuals that don't pour into us, individuals that don't encourage us, right? We need to quit doing the things that don't matter, that we don't value. Those are the things that we need to quit. When we're describing don't quit, we're talking about that thing that you really want, that vision that you have, that thing that makes you come alive. You stay true to it. You keep fighting for it. You keep pushing for it. And keep in mind, again, the methods may change how you get there, but keep the mission the same. Operate that mindset. It's not over until I win. Excellent. I see the fist up. If you did find value in this broadcast, please, again, share this out with the people that you personally care about. Share this out on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, as well as YouTube. Everybody watching this on YouTube, real quick, hit that like button. I would truly appreciate that. It does so much for the algorithms. It sends this out to people that are interested in these strategies of personal development and self-improvement. So again, I would truly appreciate you hitting that like button so that we can spread this message and inspire those that are aiming to become the best version of themselves. With that being said, though, family, if we've yet to connect on other platforms, be sure to connect with your boy at D1 Gibson is my handle. That includes Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Actually, it's not LinkedIn. I'm not at D1 Gibson on LinkedIn, just David Gibson on LinkedIn. But to make it easier, you got the QR code right there with all of my information, or just go to the website, elevationisAmust.com. Also, take advantage of all the resources that are available there. Many of those are free. We also have some things in our shop. You can purchase my books there, as well as one of our courses, the Clarity Masterclass. If you're aiming to grow in the area of emotional intelligence, changing the story that you have echoing in your mind, right? Reframing your thoughts in a more empowering way, definitely tap into that course where I break down step by step many tools and strategies that will help you master your mindset and gain clarity on the vision, the purpose, and the goals that you have for your life. There's a blueprint there that will literally help you get from where you aim to be to where you're aiming to go. So again, tap into that, elevationisAmust.com. That's where all of that is available. Likewise, Henry, again, glad to have you tapped in live. Life-changing word, coach. Appreciate that. With that being said, family, let's wrap this thing up, because you got dreams to catch and success to create, as well as I. So all of us, we got to get busy being great, all right? Now, keep in mind, we feel inspired, we feel motivated. Let's not allow this to be the best part of our day. Let's double down on what we just heard. Let's double down on what we just consumed and apply something that we discussed during today's conversation to our day today. Let's take action. Let's push ourselves. You felt like giving up earlier this morning? Hey, I need you to find that drive, that motivation to keep moving forward. If nobody else tells you that they love you today, remember, D1 Gibson has nothing but love for each and every single one of you, including you. So pay that love forward. In fact, be an advocate of positivity. The world needs it, right? Spread some good vibes, some great energy. Help individuals put a smile on their face by placing a smile on yours and making it contagious. And remember, if nobody else tells you that they love you today, remember, D1 Gibson loves you. Out of the 8 billion people, if nobody says, hey, I love you, I love you. Let's appreciate the fact on that, okay? With all of that being said, though, family, wrap this thing up. We'll be back at it Monday morning next week, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the meantime, be sure to take advantage of all the content that's available on our YouTube channel. We got some great things coming in the very near future. So if you guys have yet to subscribe, be sure to do so. Be effective, be successful, live with some passion today, and most importantly, family, 3 pounds to your chest. 1, 2, 3. Be powerful. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.